All right, what is up, folks? Welcome back to another episode of Lifting, Running, Out Here Living with your favorite people. Some of
Yes.
us coach, some of us used to coach. Kelly,
Hello.
hey, JK, that's me. And when this releases, it will be 2026. So happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Yeah, to all the good people listening. If you are a listener who listened to us back in 2025, then we appreciate you integrating us into the new year. So that's actually going to be part of the theme that we're talking about today is things that you potentially, or we're going to be talking about things that we are taking and leaving, whether we're taking things from 2025 and bringing them into 2026 or things that we are just going to leave in 2025 and go into 2026. And this is, did we do this in 24? Yeah, we did this in
Yeah,
24 going
this is
into
our third one.
25. Okay, so this is
We
our
did
third one.
2023. Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
wild to go look back on. We don't need to pull it up because
Oh, I have it.
I know
But
you
yeah.
do. I know you do. Is it a tab on a spreadsheet?
No, it's in my notes.
Oh, okay. I'm disappointed.
Well, and we have, for listeners, we have notes on every podcast episode. So episode 42 was the one we did last year. And what we do is we revisit what we said the prior year, and then we tell you what this year's are going to be. So last year we talked about 2020. I guess we didn't talk about 2023. We talked about what we are taking into 2024.
Yeah. Well, preemptively, here's some foreshadowing. If you are a listener who has somewhat of a personality type of sometimes what my friend calls kicking the can down the road on certain things, you're probably going to feel attacked like I am with a couple of these things. And I'm like, oh yeah, we're still working on that. So, all right. With that being said, let's jump into it. Do you want to explain the format that we're going to use for this?
Yeah, I can drive this episode.
Fantastic.
Okay, so we're going to take two things from this year into next year for training and for living, and then we're going to leave one thing from each category, training and living. And I'm laughing because last year you only took one thing from training into 2025
Yeah.
that I could find. Uh so we'll see what the numbers come out to. And then we did have words last year.
Yep.
I know we talked about it after recording last episode. And like I said in our year ago episode, I promptly forgot that I had a word after January. This was news to me as I looked this morning that I had a word of the year.
Yeah. Oh, gotta love it. Gotta love
Yeah.
it. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start with the training category, what we're taking.
Okay.
So we're going to revisit what we said last year, if we have any comments about that, and then we'll go on to what we're doing from this year. So last year, our taking was I chose short distance races and my Monday rest days, and you chose a health first approach to training. If people listen to us, they already know I did keep short distance races this year.
You sure did.
And Monday rest days. And we will be taking that into 2026. Those are not mine for this episode, but yeah.
Okay.
Not really much to say for mine because we all know.
Okay. All right. I'm going to get lost a little bit here. So I am starting off with commenting on how I did with taking the health first approach to training into 2025, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Solid. I did follow through on really prioritizing a health first approach to my training and I'd say my overall fitness. So, yeah, what that looked like for me was really not letting aesthetics be the primary driver and letting the primary driver be integrating things like better food quality. And I'm saying better food quality. Better is subjective for each individual. We're all at different points. So, yeah, you could still find me with enjoying all the same things that I typically enjoy. What I found that I did though was worked to have more micronutrient dense food be um, a higher percentage of where my calories were coming from. And then also just from a training standpoint, uh, I can't remember, I would say when we recorded that episode, I may have been in the beginning stages of feeling like something was kind of going on with the shoulder impingement, but I wasn't totally sure at the time.
Oh.
So I did not, at the time, if I remember correctly, I don't like doing the revisionist history thing. Probably wasn't aware that I was going to be spending months focusing on a shoulder impingement and really trying to work my way through that. And that almost like kind of forced me to also pay attention to just under health first. I also would put underneath that, I would put movement quality and how I feel and mobility and things like that. And that definitely is something that continued to be a constant throughout the year. So that's something that I would say, like, if I were to give myself a, did I do that or did I not do that? Yeah, I definitely still took that through 2025. So yeah,
Nice.
feel good about that. And yeah, I'm totally fine with I had one thing instead of following the rules with two. I'm okay with that. So it's
Well,
all
it's
good.
funny because you made the rules the year before. So,
This sounds about right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, for this year, taking from 2025 into 2026,
Okay.
do you have two this year?
No.
Okay. I have two.
Go for it. You go for it. As of right now, I don't. But go for it.
Fair.
Yeah.
So my first one, this was actually quite hard. There were a lot of things with training I want to take. I feel like I've just found a good, program things that work for me.
I was gonna say
Um,
groove.
group, yeah, that's a better
Okay.
word.
I have
Um,
a bias towards not filling in people's spaces. So that's why I sat there.
fair.
That's all.
Yeah, I don't know what word I was trying to find, but
Okay.
groove does fit better than program. Um, so one thing I'm taking is Wednesday Track Club.
Mm,
This has been,
yeah.
yeah, one of the best changes training wise that I've made. And like I said, back in June when we started it, it kind of just happened. It was a fun, not coincidence, but happenstance shift.
Oh, happenstance. We got groove. We got
I know.
happenstance. Woo.
My slight tangent, my parents were just here and we all play the New York Times games and they really like spelling bee and I have previously not liked spelling bee, but I decided to start trying it because why not? And because I'm off this week, so I have a lot of time to try to get basically spelling bee, you try to make words with these 7 letters and one of them is in the middle, you have to use it in every word. And
Mhm.
there's different rankings. The highest is genius. So today I got to genius. I found 44 words. So
Hey,
very in the
congratulations.
vocab. Anyway, but yeah, Wednesday Track Club it's been amazing for my training. And doing track workouts and just like allowing me to actually get faster and switch things up. And it gives me something to look forward to every week. And I get to see my friends consistently, which is, a big life boost.
Mhm.
So yeah, and it just feels nice to do something early and get done early and I still have time before I have to log on for work. It's like
Preaching to the choir on the early thing.
yeah, exactly.
Facts.
Um last week we did a little later session cuz it was Christmas Eve and my friend's husband Zach, he was like this doesn't feel like free time anymore. And Emily was like I don't understand what you're saying. He explained it. And what he means by when we do our 6 a.m. workout, it feels like we're up so early and then we're done so early that we basically just have like free time. It's like not
Mm.
taking up time in the day.
Mm.
And
Mhm.
then you're done early. And you
Yep.
basically just got a bunch of free time. And I was like, I agree with you completely. I know what you mean. So that's just really nice. And it's in the middle of the week, it breaks up the week nicely. So that's my first one. My second one is short lifting sessions. Uh,
I,
I don't.
I am not shocked by this. Like based
I
on the things
know.
you talk about in previous episodes. Okay.
Yeah, because I just talked about it like 2 weeks ago
Saw this
or
one
two
coming.
episodes ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one is nice because I feel like shifting more into just embracing the short lifting sessions and just doing something has allowed me to be more consistent this year. And I think that that's part of the reason why I haven't had like an injury really this year. I've had like some Achilles things, but it's really touch and go versus previous years. Like the 50 miler year comes to mind. I don't know actually if lifting would have helped there. But previous years having injuries, I feel like I just wasn't really as consistent with lifting. So even just keeping in short lifting sessions has been really helpful, and it just keeps that habit going.
I like it.
Hmm.
Okay.
So what's yours?
Let's see. So my take for training is I'm going to again bring a health first approach to training into 2026. Or let me I'll back it up a bit more just and actually use the umbrella of overall fitness. I'm going to take a health first approach to my overall fitness. And for me, I don't, so full disclosure, I typically give myself until the end of January for anything that comes down to like, okay, here's the big focus for the year, like getting really specific about
Yeah.
certain things. So try to build some momentum going into January and then spend January trying to clear out a lot of the noise to figure out, okay, this is how that's actually going to look. So picture it as if somebody brought up a particular thing at work where they say, hey, for 2026, we know that we're going to need to be all in on, I'll just make something up, like AI. We know that this is something
Ugh.
important that we have to embrace.
Yeah.
Um, However, we also, history tells us that thinking that we're going to have our full year strategy in one big strategy meeting that's actually going to be like helpful probably isn't going to work. So let's
Mm.
give ourselves multiple sessions, brainstorming, whatever it may be, and put the whole plan together over a series of 4 weeks. And in February, we're ready to launch. That's how my brain works with this stuff. So
Mm.
that being said, off the top of my head, what a health first approach is going to look like when it comes to overall fitness is having a bit more of a mix throughout the entire year when it comes to my training. So a mix of the bodybuilding focus work or the hypertrophy work, mixing in cardio with again a heart health approach to the cardio versus a performance approach to the cardio
Mhm.
itself. I know I've mentioned to you before, like would be something like a being like running a mile a month or whatever it might be, like some sort of benchmark like that. Like so at any time be able to do that, different things like that. So that's what it would be from a training standpoint. And then from a nutrition standpoint, which I think fits under the fitness
Mhm.
umbrella. Getting the notification my network is struggling, but we'll work with it. Um, so with from a nutrition standpoint, just continuing to keep a focus on most of my caloric volume and intake coming from higher quality foods.
Mm.
So that's just continuing to do that. So basically just like really starting to tweak or really tweaking that even more. And then I would say my sleep comes into play there too. And this is a year where, as of right now, I've got a couple of really significant things that I'm looking at from a coaching standpoint. And the reality is that to do the things that I want to do at the way that I want to do them, sleep volume is going to be sacrificed. Like it won't,
Mm.
I don't, I don't foresee putting like getting more sleep on the goal list or the vision board, so to speak.
Yeah.
What I do see is taking care of getting the best sleep that I can based on the circumstances that I'm going to create, like not the situation that I'm put in, but the situation that I'm going to create. So those are the things that I'll take when it comes to taking a health first approach to my overall fitness. I'm even and going into a fat loss phase shortly, and
Oh, mhm.
that's again that like even with that, there's still going to be a health first approach to the fat loss phase. It's not purely aesthetic, because if it's only driven by aesthetics, I'm at a point in my life where that's not enough of a
Yeah,
motivation. It's not enough of a motivation for me.
that's fair.
So yeah, for some it may be. I'm just not at that point right now where
Yeah.
when it comes to like the tough decision of, am I going to stick to my macros or not, or am I going to go do this cardio or not, or am I going to do this lift or not. Um, my health will drive more of that decision than whether or not like that oblique is popping. It's just not gonna. I've been there, but it's just not this
Mm,
one. It's yeah. So that yeah, hopefully that answers that one for what I'm taking
yeah.
for
I mean, it can be
2026.
whatever you wanna make it. This is
Yeah.
our
So that's
personal
mine.
thing, so
So basically, we're gonna run it back.
yeah,
That's
just
gonna
keep
be
it
the theme.
going.
Run it back. Maybe that instead of a word for the year would be my phrase. Run it back. Here we go.
Yeah, it
So
could be.
all right.
Okay, so that's what we're taking training-wise.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna move to what we are taking living.
Okay.
So last year, what I said I was taking into 2025 was, 1, my nightly routine, mainly reading before bed, which I have kept up all year. I think there's been, like, only a handful of nights I haven't read before bed, which is pretty impressive if I do say so myself.
Yeah.
um, and then my other one was trying things on and being open to whatever happens. I think I had a specific thing in mind when I said this,
Hmm.
probably related to work if I had to guess.
Okay.
Um, and I think I did a pretty good job of this in living and in training, because I tried some new things racing wise last year, like the track race. That was my first time doing something like that, and like the
Yeah.
shorter races. Um, and then living, I got promoted, so I've been trying out that new role for a few months.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I would say I succeeded in taking those. And then yours were being present in the moment and
Mhm.
feed your habits, the
Yeah.
company.
Well, I'll start with the last one first. So, when it comes to feed your habits, we're still rolling. We had our best launch. I'm actually wearing one of the pieces like from that launch right
Ooh,
now. We had our best launch with the Shadow Collection that we launched right around the middle of the year at this point, or at yeah, it was right around the middle of the year, and we learned a lot during that launch. We learned a lot, and we're in a phase right now where we're revamping, re-engaging, just regrouping. We have another collection that is coming out. We haven't nailed the date. However, like sample pieces are already like I'm waiting for my package actually right now,
ooh,
with some pretty cool stuff that's coming down the pipeline. So I'd say with that particular one, I'm going to go like red light, yellow light, green light with these things because
okay.
that'll be a little bit better for my brain to process. I'd say that was a yellow light piece.
Hmm,
So we would have times where we were really moving, and then times where things slowed down, and times where we were moving, and times where things slowed down, and then sometimes where just truly it was a red light. Like
yeah,
we've never completely quit or anything like that. And also, we have run into some interesting stuff just behind the scenes with understanding like print on demand shipping and suppliers and tariffs and pricing and
ooh,
all of those different things.
yeah,
So overall, I would say that would be a yellow for that particular one, but still just as tied to the whole mission that habits don't just grow on their own. Like you feed them and you build them, and that's the way that it goes. So we're still tied
yep.
into that. Being present in the moment. This one, green all day, every day. Like that one. That one, as I look back on it now, having like the lens of I'm looking at it through the lens of going through the entire year. As I look back
Yeah,
on it now, uh, I believe strongly that I'm more present in moments than I probably have been in a really, really, really long time throughout the entire year. The first thing that comes to mind, which I don't think I'd be alone in this, is how often or what role my being on my phone has played in things. I feel like that's
Yeah.
kind of where everybody goes at this point, like with the way the culture and society that we live in. And yeah, that's now the I'm realizing that certain things that I put in place, like little so little things like I think I've talked about this before that I picked up from like a couple of books that I read is like tapping my pocket before actually reaching in my pocket to pull out my phone when I'm standing
Oh,
in line at a restaurant or standing somewhere waiting, pulling out my phone. Like I would just put in like a 2 second, literally like tap my pocket before I actually reach into my pocket to get out my phone. And that couple of seconds just slowed things down. Sometimes I still grab my phone and then sometimes it was like, well, what am I'm grabbing my phone because it's there, not because I'm specifically looking for something right now.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, that's probably one of the main ones that I think that one's like green. Um, so yeah, feel really good about where that ended up. So I definitely took that into 2025. Yeah.
That one's a good one too.
Yeah, it for sure is, and it's for sure paid off in a few ways. I would say one of the primary ways would be when when somebody is talking to me about something that they previously have talked to me about. I don't have like a ooh, I wasn't really paying attention when you were saying that sort of a
Yeah.
thing. I am also I've been given this feedback like at work that sometimes maybe the way that I state it folks don't necessarily appreciate it like in the moment. And also, I've become very, very comfortable if I start to feel myself checking out of a conversation, like no electronics involved, just checking out of a conversation. I'm very comfortable letting the person know, like, I gotta be straight up with you. You've lost me. Like I'm
Hmm.
about to check out of this conversation and I don't want to do that right now. So is this something we should maybe table till later? Because
Hmm.
many times it's something where somebody says, "Hey, do you have a minute?" or "This is a quick thing." And then as we're like a couple of minutes in, I can just tell that it's more of a either a venting session or a, "Hey, I just haven't fully formed this out and I just need somebody to bounce it off of." I'm like, "Hey, I want to make sure that I'm in a place where I can actually hear you."
Yeah.
And when you start off with like, "Hey, I just need a minute," I s- I'm I'm starting to lose faith in anybody who says quick question. So,
Yeah, that's fair.
yeah. So anyways, yeah, so I just noticed being more present in the moment also puts me in a position to better assess, like, am I in a position to really listen right now
Mm,
or not, and be open with that person with like, I'm gonna be straight up with you. I want to talk about this. Let's do it at this time because
yeah.
then I'll be present. Hopefully that kind of makes sense. But yeah,
Yeah, that does make
yeah,
sense.
that's been a good one for sure.
Okay. So then taking into 2026, do you have two for this one?
You go first.
um
Right
okay, so
now I
my
have one, but
that's fine.
yeah.
My first one is kind of like your being present in the moment. I would
Mm,
say they a little bit go hand in hand, but my first one is going to be intentional effort in friendships.
okay.
Yeah, I feel like the older I get, the more I'm noticing how hard it is to stay connected with people. Just like, in your 20s, I feel like it was so easy because it was, or at least for me, I shouldn't speak for everyone. A lot of my friends, like, we climbed together. I would see them at the climbing gym a bunch of days a week, or like we were in school together, we worked together, whatever it was. So it didn't require as much intention to stay in contact because it was just like, oh, well, I'm going to the gym after work. I know so are my three friends. I'm going to see them then. And then like we go climbing on the weekend or whatever. And then obviously, as you get older, things change. The things you like to do change. Like I stopped climbing. That was a huge change in all of my friendships. Cause then I was like, well, I want to go running, but
Mhm.
I don't run with my friends. So then like how do I stay connected with them? And then obviously like making new friends. I've made new friends with running and coaching. So I'm more so just like taking stock of the relationships I want to foster more and then just trying to be more intentional about making plans because as adults, we're all busy and it's really hard to align schedules last minute. Like, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I get it.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's pretty rare to be like, oh, I wake up on a Saturday and I want to do something, text someone, be like, hey, you want to do this? And they're like, oh, yeah, I also have no plans today, versus like,
Right.
you
Right.
really have to be like, okay, let's get something in the calendar for a few weeks out so we can actually make this happen.
Hmm.
Um, Unless it is like just a run, like my running friends, that's easier because I know, they're going to run on Saturday. I'm going to run on Saturday.
Yeah.
Easier to make happen. But just really putting more intention into that and making plans that don't revolve around activities. So like dinners or just like getting together for coffee or something and just yeah, just putting more effort in there. So that's my first one.
Okay.
My second one is Costco. um it
Okay. Hmm.
So this one, I've been a Costco member for years, but I never really took advantage. I would like get gas there, but I never really shopped there. But this year, I I don't fully. It was like a lot of things that went into it. Part of it was the beginning of the year when all that DEI stuff was happening, and Costco was one of the few
Hmm.
companies that outright was like, we're not getting rid of DEI. So bonus points in my book. And I didn't discover, I I realized that there are like two Costco's close to us. One is a little north of us, one's a little south. Um, and where we live, going south, I would hit like 7 stoplights. And it just feels like a lot of effort to get to that Costco. And it's always insane. It's right off the highway. So I started going to the one north of us that is equidistant, probably, maybe a little closer. And it's like kind of tucked away. So it's a lot less crowded. Um,
Oh.
yeah. And I didn't really intentionally do this, but I was ordering a lot of like factor meals last year. And I kind of got annoyed with all of the packaging and just having to deal with that
Mm.
after the
Hmm.
meals. So I wanted to go to Costco a little more, just buy things more in bulk and just have things. So I just started going and I found a lot of things,
Hmm.
like regular things that I like. So I've been going pretty consistently on a weekly basis. So yeah, I'm just taking that into 2026 to just it makes my life easier. It makes, meals easier. I feel
That's
good
cool.
about giving my money there.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going to go with that. So, all right. It's reasonable.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. So for living, this is very adjacent to what you were talking about with yours. So for me, what comes to mind is um, more in-person experiences.
Ooh.
So over the past year or over the past 2 years, the main things that I for sure have gone to related to fitness type events have been the Arnold in Columbus, Ohio, and then the Real Coaches Summit in Las Vegas.
Mhm.
Uh, ironically, when I was at the Arnold, I was able to meet up with one person who I've been connected to on social media for a couple of years now, I think. Yeah. So Kendra, another coach that I've been connected to on social media, was there because her friend was lifting at the Arnold, so I was able to run into her. And the funny thing is, while I was there running into her, I saw her literally right across the room was then Aram, who's known on Instagram as 4 Weeks to the Beach, and he's the organizer of the event in Vegas. So I was in Columbus and
Oh.
run into two coaches, and one of them being the one who like started and oversees the only other fitness related event that I ever go to. So it was very just ironic. And
Yeah.
just in being able to connect not only with those two, also being able to connect with my friend Greg, who's a trainer out in Las Vegas, seeing him in person. And then even just this past week, and I'm going to forget a couple of people, but even just this past weekend, um, a friend of mine who has since like gotten married and moved from here in the Illinois area out to California, and then occasionally comes back because his family is here. We got together and we were able to get in a workout. Just the having those in-person experiences has been pretty solid, because for me, I'm not, my intention is not to go to as many in-person things as possible. It's more of something that I'm going to take with me is, is really focusing on, being, kind of to borrow your word, intentional
Mm.
about, okay, if that's something that I really want to do, like put some plans around it and go do that thing. So whether it be a fitness related event or otherwise, just really taking the time to seek out, okay, is there a particular, I don't know, there might be something going on here locally at our library. There might be something going on at like the YMCA. I don't know. But taking the time to just kind of look at those things, and especially since we're going to be in Alabama, at least 2 times out of the year, we'll be
Mm-hmm.
down there, taking some time to seek out particular events that might be at least around that particular area. Like Ava and I used to go to one concert every year over the past like number of years. Like that was kind of our thing. And that's something that even if I'm not necessarily going with her, like maybe Emily and I can go, like just different things, just looking at being more intentional about that. Cause I see where you're coming from totally, especially as somebody who primarily like the majority of my clients are online.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the people that I know fitness industry wise, I would say that I have for sure better connections with people, like virtual connections from a fitness standpoint, than I do with people that are here in my local area. So it's
Mm-hmm.
always hilarious when somebody, I'll run into somebody and they're like, "Hey, do you know so and so? They're a coach over at this gym." And I'm like, I could not tell you. I have no idea who you're talking about. Like not not at all. So when somebody approached me a few weeks ago to ask for help with something, and it's just not in my wheelhouse, and
Yeah.
it was here like at the gym that I go to, and they were asking me about something. I was like, I can give you general information, and that's not my wheelhouse. Let me give you 3 other people you can talk to, and all 3 of those people are out of town.
Yeah.
Like they're not located here in the area. And the
Yeah.
person was like, well, I was kind of hoping to work with somebody in person. I was like, well, I heard something good about this other person that's here. But, if you, Colorado, I know people in Colorado. If you need that, I know people in California. I know people in like the Republic of Congo if you need help up there. So, yeah. So I'd say like just the in-person, being intentional around in-person experiences would be mine from a living standpoint. Um, the other one is going to be related to something we'll talk about when it goes to the leaving. Um,
Ooh.
so living would be just going further into the, for lack of a better way to put it, like the minimalist rabbit hole. Just
Mm.
continuing to really pare things down, because I still, at some points, it doesn't even like seem like I made a dent. So
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I would say that. So being intentional about in-person experiences, and then also just like really, what do I need? Like, what do I truly need in order to really continue to like live the
Yeah.
life that I want to live? Yeah,
Cool.
that's what I'd say. All right.
All right, on to leaving. So,
Yeah.
training category. Last year, I was leaving Whoop in
Yep.
2024,
Yep.
which, yep, did not restart my Whoop, and I have no plans to. And you were leaving having a coach.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I'll jump off on this one because it'll be really quick. Went through last year, and I worked with Jeff, a coach, for all of 2024. That would be,
mhm.
yeah, for
Yep.
most of 2024, and then left on really what I think were pretty really really good terms. He did exactly what I needed him to do, plus more actually. I actually strongly recommend him. So if anybody is looking for somebody who can handle both training and or nutrition, like whichever one you need, and like literally, I don't know how he holds on to all of the information that he has, and he's constantly learning more and more, and has like 700, no joke, I think 700 podcast episodes on Mind
Wow.
Muscle Connection. Like that's the name of his podcast. He's shout out Jeff. He's really, really solid. But just from a standpoint of like finances and things like that, I needed to move in a different direction. So did it on my own. It went good. Like it's gone pretty good. I've been
Mhm.
tempted to go back to working with a coach again. And also, I just have right now, I have other priorities that I really, really, really am putting at the top. So, coaching myself as of right now when it comes to nutrition, and then training, I'll follow for the most part. Like right now, I'm going to stick to a structure that's been pretty good from a different program. So, just remove some of that thinking. Um, so yeah, having a coach, I'd say that that was a green light for the majority of 2025. Stayed focused. So, how
Nice.
about you? Oh, well, Whoop, I
Um,
guess that was,
yeah, totally green light. I didn't
well,
miss it.
you know what? Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Do you, as you look back on it, do you feel like that was a green light as far as like a good decision, and why? Or do you feel like it was more like kind of red light? You felt like you've been missing out on certain things.
Oh, I don't feel like I've been missing out on anything at all. Um, yeah, it's like Whoop is fun to have, I feel like, for short periods of time. I
Hmm.
like the data, but
Yes, I
I
know.
don't, yeah, I don't need a Whoop to tell me how recovered I am. I
What would
can
you
like,
say is the main thing that that drove you to move away from Whoop?
um,
Not like final straw sort of deal, just generally like what do you think was like the main driver for that?
well, I remember last year I had started going to the gym
Hmm.
and I wanted to get rid of an expense and Whoop was the primary.
Yeah.
And I think I had been doing it for like 4 months at that point, and I usually don't keep Whoop for long periods of time. I just don't find it useful across long periods of time, and I was annoyed at wearing something nonstop.
That's
You
right.
know?
'Cause I know you don't like to wear stuff when you sleep either.
No, and Whoop is the only thing I can wear, but then it's like, I don't know. I feel like the way that you feel like you have to be wearing something 24/7
Mm.
breeds an unhealthy mindset around it, you know?
It's a
It's
little
like,
Black Mirror-ish.
right, like,
I could see that.
am
Okay.
I gonna miss something if I take it off while I shower? You know?
Mm.
And it's like, I want my wrist to be free, but then I'm losing data and yeah, just unhealthy spiral. Um,
Side note, I had a moment like that when so I took off my watch
uh-huh.
because I wanted to put my Versa grips on when I was
Oh,
working out.
yeah.
And recently, I've typically worn my chest strap heart rate monitor,
Ooh, yeah,
which then communicates to the watch. So
yeah,
if I take my watch off, it doesn't matter because the heart rate monitor is still, transmitting that stuff.
right.
However, it doesn't count my steps because
Yes.
my watch isn't on. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll make this very quick. So basically, like, I was like, whatever. Like, I don't care. Like, I didn't even think about it. But then
Yeah,
later on, I realized that I had left it off after I started going through other sets and walking around the gym and doing all this other stuff. So I put it back on. No biggie, right? And then it was a day that I wasn't at my in-person job. So I use two different step count goals. Like when I'm not at my in-person job where I'm moving around the majority of the day, then my step count goal is around 7,000 because I'm
mhm,
seated most of the day. So it still takes effort to get up and get 7,000 steps as
yeah,
somebody who's not a runner. Okay.
right.
So my goal was 7,000. And when I got up the next morning and was going to put stuff into my tracker with like, okay, here's where I finished out. Um, it finished at like 6,000, 500 something or something like
Yeah,
that. And thing popped into my head where I was like, man, I wonder how many steps I got when I didn't have my watch on for that. Because there
yeah,
was a significant period of time that I just forgot to put it back on. And literally for about 7 seconds had that thing in my head where I was like, I wonder if I could just type in 7,000. Then I'm like, who care? Who cares?
Right.
Nobody cares or
Yeah.
anything. So I
It
don't know.
makes no difference.
Yeah, that just reminded me of that where what you were talking about, where it's just like sometimes you almost feel like, well, am I missing out on something if I don't have this thing on? It's like,
Right.
nah.
I know.
Yeah, that makes
It's like
sense.
20 years ago, we didn't even have any of this.
True, true. All right,
Yeah.
so
Okay. So then leaving in 2025, mine for training
mhm.
is limiting beliefs.
Mm,
Um,
okay,
yeah.
okay.
'Cause I feel like I really just I proved to myself that I can get faster. Uh, and I didn't realize that in the back of my head, I was like, can I get faster? You know? Because
Mhm,
in 2024, like when I ran the 5Ks, it felt so hard to run just under 25 minutes that I was like, is this where I'm going to be forever? You
mm,
know? And then obviously this year with like Wednesday track club, I got super shoes. I've just been training harder. Like my intensity sessions have been harder and just a more variety of paces. And then obviously that translated into my 5Ks running over 2 minutes faster than in 2024. So, um, yeah, I'm just getting rid of the belief that I can't still progress. And yeah, makes me
mm.
excited for 2026 and seeing how much faster I can get. So,
Okay. Uh,
yeah.
all right. Well, I'm gonna expand the category just a little bit. So I'm gonna scope out
Okay.
instead of leaving it under training, as I did similar with one of the other ones, like with my health first approach, instead of to training, it's to fitness. So
That's fair.
one thing that I'm going to be leaving behind overall is once I'm done with my fat loss phase, which I'm first going to start with an 8 week commitment where I'll be tracking. Generally, I should be tracking about 5 days out of the week.
Mm,
However, the intention is by the end of the year that I'm tracking an average of 3 days a week at the
okay.
most, tracking an average of 3 days a week. And where that three is coming from is because I use Macro Factor
Hmm.
as the app that I use for nutrition right now. And I'm using the coached option. For those who might be familiar with it, then you know that there's like you can do coached, you can do collaborative, or you can do manual, where basically you make your own adjustments. Collaborative is where it's like they make suggestions and then you either and then you manipulate those suggestions. Or there's coach where it's just like, hey, do this, and you can either accept or decline. Like it's very cool how they have it set up. However, what the way that that system is built is that for it to get an understanding of your estimated expenditure, your calorie expenditure, then it asks for you. I want to say it asks for you to track, like enter your nutrition in for 3 out of the 7 days on
Mm,
average.
okay.
So, yeah, that would be something that I'm going to be leaving would be tracking on average more than 4 days a week, let's say. So, with
Cool.
eventually being at like just kind of not tracking at all. My intention there is not to have anybody like interpret that all of a sudden as like, oh, do you feel like you can't like survive without tracking or any, no, not in the least bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, not in the least bit at all. There's yeah, I just to use the app the way that it's supposed to be used, it asks that you get a certain amount, a minimum amount of data, and then I think that you weigh in like I think there's a certain amount of weigh-ins too, at least
Mm,
once a week or twice a week, something like that. So basically, just focusing on trying to get that down to the bare minimum with whatever it needs in order to do its thing. So
cool.
so that I have that because with my health first approach, that also includes when I do go see a doctor or anything like that. I want to be able to at least give some better information versus just like, yeah, here are some things that I do, and I haven't totally written off working with a coach again at some point in the future. And
Right.
I think it'd be super helpful just to be able to, oh yeah, well here's the last year worth of data.
Yeah.
If that's helpful to you, here's where things have been. So that's what I would say.
Cool.
All right.
So, leaving in the living category,
Mm-hmm.
last year I said screen time on social media. I'm gonna give this one a yellow light. I was
Really?
really great at yeah. I
Okay.
was really, really great at this for like half of the year.
Mhm.
And then you might recall sometime, I think it was in the summer, I re-downloaded TikTok.
Yeah.
And TikTok is still, I still have it. I've been debating deleting it again. It just,
Just pretend it's banned and then you're good.
yeah. I mean, I still use ClearSpace for
Okay.
TikTok.
Okay.
So unless I intentionally go in and allow myself like a full hour, like my max is 30 minutes.
Interesting.
Um, yeah. So it was for the most part pretty good throughout the year. Like for Instagram, I don't feel like Instagram doesn't have that draw for me, you know. I
Okay.
don't have it on ClearSpace anymore because I switched off the paid version, so I can only use one app. But I don't feel like if I go into Instagram, I'm going to be, look up and it'll be 2 hours have passed.
Yeah.
Um, so still struggling with TikTok, but that's just a testament to how good TikTok's algorithm
Yeah.
and their app is, to be honest.
Yeah.
It does what it is setting out to do. So yeah,
Sucks you in. Yeah.
it sucks you in,
I've definitely heard
and
that.
yeah, hard to get out of it. So shout out to ClearSpace. I will apparently be using you forever for
Okay.
TikTok. So yours from last year was you were leaving, holding on to things just in case, and the
Yeah.
unnecessary stuff.
Yeah. Man, this one's a tough one because I mean, it's at best, it's yellow. It's yellow at best.
Yeah,
Uh, Again, or I would say similar to you, started off really strong, tailed off a bit, picked back up, tailed off a little bit.
yeah,
So made some progress, not as much progress um, as I should have based on my expectations. So this one,
hmm
yeah, we'll just give it a red. Let's give it a red because there wasn't a lot of a consistent
Oh, okay.
intention behind it. Yeah, not a lot of consistent intention behind
Yeah,
it. So that, yeah, like straight up, that's one that I'll likely, um, or I mentioned that I'm going to be using that as like something I'm taking with me is
yeah. The
revamping that.
minimalist.
So,
Uh-huh.
yeah. We're not
All right.
like straight, everything's black, white, and gray minimalist.
Right.
We're not going that
Yeah,
far,
like
but
no fun.
yeah. Yeah. Or like the what is that? Like the no buy November or no buy months? Have you
Oh, yeah,
seen
yeah.
those? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
It's an interesting concept. I don't know.
It
Like only
is.
the essentials. Don't buy
Yeah.
anything outside of the essentials or whatnot, or emergencies, things like that. But it's like I don't know. That could be an interesting concept. I do like the thought of a monthly challenge. I like
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
you
that.
could do it for one of the months.
Yeah, I could. I
Yeah.
could. All right.
Okay. So this year, leaving in 2025,
Mhm.
mine's got to be coaching. I'm leaving coaching.
Yeah, that's facts. That's
So this
facts.
one was super easy. Obviously, I stopped coaching this year. Officially, as of the end of this year, my LLC will be dissolved. So Coaching Klutz LLC will be no more. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just time to turn the page on that one.
Let's see. And this is leaving in the living category for me.
Yep. Yes.
It's, I've
You can recycle your one from last year if you want.
yeah, yeah, it'll be something adjacent to that. I'm gonna TBD on that. Maybe I'll make a pod episode out of it, but yeah, TBD um on what I'm gonna leave behind when it comes to the living part. I'm not sure on that yet.
All
But
right.
it'll
Well,
probably be
we'll
something adjacent to holding on to random things,
yeah, we could
most
all
likely.
use some more effort in that area.
Yeah.
Um, okay. Well, we'll wrap up with our words. Are you doing a word for 2026?
Still TBD. I have a couple that are swimming around in my head for sure, but
Okay.
we'll recap the ones that
Yeah,
we did have.
recap. Like I mentioned
Friendly
at the top of this
reminder.
episode, I no idea I made this word
Yeah.
a year ago. Mine was apparently authenticity. Don't remember why I chose it.
Could it have been frustration with like fakeness in the coaching industry?
Maybe
I'm guessing. I don't
I
recall.
think so. I think this time last year, I knew I was going to stop coaching in
Hmm.
2025. I just didn't know when.
Okay.
So I think that tied into it. Uh,
Hmm.
because continuing coaching was no longer authentic for me because I
Yeah.
didn't really want to keep doing it. Um, so that was probably a big part of it. I could probably listen to our episode from a year ago to find out
Yeah.
why I chose this. But yeah, like I said, if you listen to last year's episode, I said that I choose a word and then by the end of January I forget it. And the trend continues because I did not know this was my word of 2025.
Yeah.
Uh yeah, and yours was just to finish. That was your word.
Yeah. Well, I mean, based on some of the things, like really with the living things, with like clearing out some things, just because I just don't need them. Like there's books that
Yeah.
I'm not going to read and things like that. I'd say that that would be more of a red.
Yeah.
Um, if I can remember correctly, a big driver for finish was and is based on like start a project and be done with the project. Like you don't have to
Mm,
carry it on and let it linger. And even the way that I was finishing particular projects sometimes where like I'd get it done, it just would be like I am that person, or I was that person who was like, okay, well, do it, it's due on Friday. Okay, cool. Like do little bits and pieces or whatnot, but really, really like dig in on Thursday,
yeah.
sort of a thing. So yeah, I that was my word for 2025. And
Uh,
yeah, I'm still TBD. I'm still thinking of a few which I can share, like some that I'm possibly thinking of.
sure.
And also what I did, one thing that I did learn with
Uh-huh.
having that as my word for 2025, even if sometimes it was subconscious, was being comfortable not taking on particular things because I was not energized by the thought of doing those things and needing to finish them. So I
Ooh.
could see it. So, for example, someone approached me about a particular opportunity. And as much as I wanted to take advantage of that opportunity for the financial gain,
Yeah.
I could see myself not being interested in continuing with that opportunity after probably about 3 months if I were to do it.
Okay.
So instead of doing that, I just declined and referred. So things like that.
Yeah.
That was a good learning from having that as a focus. So yeah,
Did you remember this was your word throughout the
I
year?
I did I did because well I remembered fi- so I had finish and also execute, which execute was
Ooh,
I think I want to say that was 2024 if I remember correctly. I could be
potentially.
wrong on that, but basically I kind of carried it into that because to me a lot of that is very very similar.
Yeah.
Um, and one of the things that I want to give away like security things, but essentially I integrated that word into certain things. So I was
Mm.
constantly reminded of it
Okay.
all the time. Yeah. And
Smart.
that's a little, I guess, a hack
Yeah.
that I have, that if something like if you are setting some sort of a focus for a particular amount of time or whatnot, like for example at work, like we went through this for a while where we had to change our passwords like every month because we
I
were
hate
going through
that.
like some random stuff. So I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I'm going to make it some form of this word that's a big focus for this month. So
Hmm.
yeah,
Smart.
random stuff like that, like just those reminders. It's like when people put things on their lock screen on their phone as a
Yeah.
reminder. So I would do things like that periodically just to remind myself. Cause I've definitely gone through those years where I was, it'd be like March. And I'm like, what was my word again? So yeah. So yeah. All right. So for 2026, do you have a word already?
I do. Yeah.
And
My
drum
word
roll.
of 2026 is confidence.
Hmm.
Yeah, so it goes along with leaving limiting beliefs in training. Because I
Okay.
feel like I've gotten a lot more confident in my running. So I'm going to take that into 2026. And then I also feel like in work in my career over this past year I've grown a lot and become a lot more confident in like my skills, what I can do, what I bring to the table. So, we're just going to make that the theme of the year.
I like it. I
Yeah.
like it. Um, right now, the word legacy. is
Ooh.
front of mind, and also low key. That's what we've named our new collection that will be coming out for Feed Your Habits. Actually,
Like
uh,
low key or like low key
no, no, no,
the character?
no, legacy.
Oh, legacy.
Legacy is the
Okay.
legacy is the word, and I'm saying like, oh, low key, like on the DL. That's what we've,
Gotcha. I
yeah.
thought low key was another
Oh
word.
no,
Anyway.
that ooh, no, no. I was like, that could, yeah. I'm actually gonna, I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna be just brainstorming a lot of that stuff. But that word has been, yeah, that word's been swimming around in my head for a while. And so when we were putting together this new collection, which is still being worked on for Feed Your Habits, I just was like, how about legacy? Because it just seemed to come together with how we're designing this new collection. Very, very, it's a very, very like basic, simple like collection. Very simple.
Hmm.
Um, and I had read, I think I read a snippet somewhere along the way that just kind of re-engaged a perspective on legacy. And now it's one of those, it's under that category of once you see it, you can't unsee it, or once you hear it, you
Hmm.
can't unhear it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like acutely like aware of when the term legacy is used, how is it used? And
Oh,
uh, even if I say like I watch something and somebody's talking about leaving a legacy for their kids or a legacy for their family, a lot of times they're talking about things
yeah.
versus when I think about, for example, like my grandfather comes to mind, like he left a legacy. I can't tell you a single physical thing that my grandfather left me at
Mm.
all. Not because he like didn't love me or something. It's like he just didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, his legacy has zero point zero to do with any physical thing, like at
Yeah.
all, like nowhere near. And so that's where my brain kind of starts to go, even
Hmm.
as I think about things like um, minimizing like the amount of stuff and things like that. It's like this may be fairly morbid, but if you're really into stoicism, it's like memento mori, like you do understand that at some point you're gonna die. And
Right.
so what are you leaving? So it's like you're leaving a legacy, and also are you leaving stuff that like other people are gonna have to deal with?
Yeah.
What are you like what are you, so that's what's kind of been in my head. And that's also kind of like,
Mm.
okay, well, legacy, like what am I leaving? Am I leaving the project done? Am I leaving the conversation like the way that I need to leave that conversation? Has that been said the way it needed to be said? So I was thinking about the word exit and leave too. This all sounds very
Hmm.
morbid, but nobody needs to put me on like on a live watch. Like I'm good. I'm just really thinking. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's where I'm at right now with
Cool.
I'll give myself again to the end of January. Figure that out. So
We'll revisit and see if it's morphed or changed. And
we shall see.
you're recording with
Melissa.
MJ? Melissa?
MC, yeah, we go
MC?
back and forth between MC and Melissa. But her name's Melissa. Today, and that'll be our third annual. So she's reminded me it's our third annual conversation around like the theme for the year, the word for the year, and what she shared with me before as we close out here is it's inspired by Gretchen Rubin.
Oh, the
Um,
human design person?
yeah, her Happier by Design, or what's it? Is it Human Design? Is that what it's
Yes,
called?
human design.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. All right. And I was just talking to my training client about this morning because I'm going to forward out a couple of her YouTube videos because they're short, they're under 10 minutes that just spur
Hmm.
some good thought on creating your theme for the year and your word for the year.
Hmm.
I think there's some good stuff that's there with designing your year and not and really I think from my perspective it seems like she's really all about releasing this pressure that it has to be perfect. And
Hmm.
I'm also like, yeah, it doesn't have to be perfect, and also done is done and not done is not done. So
Yeah.
finding that harmony between the two, which we've
Yeah.
talked about before, like sometimes like I call it the softification of certain things where it's like, no, some days are gonna suck. Like,
Yeah.
kind of like I'm like this upcoming year, sleep is gonna be a problem, and
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. So, all right,
All right. Well, if you want to
happy New
share
Year.
Happy
Yeah,
New Year. If you want to share your take it and leave it, You can DM us on Instagram at Lifting Running Living Pod or email us at liftingrunningLivingPod@gmail.com. Yeah, leave a rating and review.
Word.
And
All
yeah,
right.
we'll see you in 2026. I guess we are in 2026 at the time of this
Yeah.
release.
Yeah. We're teleporting forward. So thank
We
you
are.
again for listening to episode 68 of Lifting, Running, and Living. Take care, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye.